Hello, welcome to Ancient Voice Rising with Hera Diani. Today we have Bernie on.
Okay,
Hello.
one second. 1 second, because I've got YouTube on, but it's not going to work.
Oh,
I was
hey Bernie, how are you?
good and you? I
Good.
know, yeah. I've had a crazy day just running around. I'm wrecked. But here we are. Finally, I'm sitting down for the first time for this.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
So, what does do you celebrate Christmas in its like traditional way, or how do you celebrate
Well,
holidays?
like growing up in that, yes, we did. And I did in Ireland because I kind of had a family, but otherwise I don't really bother. But this year I'm celebrating Christmas Eve with my man and his family.
Ooh,
So we
we know
cook,
who the
I'm cooking Christmas Eve dinner, like,
naughty.
so, cleaning the house and doing everything. And
Yeah.
yeah. Trying to get a
So,
turkey thawed so that it
oh,
can be like done tonight to be taken. Because the thing I discovered here in Mexico is that certain bakeries can actually like cook the turkey for you. You just do what you want to do it and you take it to them and they put it in their ovens. How awesome is that?
oh my gosh.
I know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, we're having it's just me and my daughter this year, and we're having a little brown sugar ham and some baked potatoes and some green beans and just chilling, just
Nice. Yeah.
chilling. Yeah, the family's kind of
It's the only
all in
time
their
of the
own
year
places.
I feel we don't need excuses to eat what and as much as we want and watch as many
True,
movies as we want and just chill, right?
true,
Yeah.
true. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, we celebrated the traditional Christmas while I was growing up. But now it has a whole different meaning.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
means something different to me, but it's just the feeling of it though, right?
I think it's for me in the past years after going through, some conscious work and all of that and unconscious work and subconscious and all that, I've just it's been more about just getting together with my family and spending, time with them when we don't see each other all the time. So it's become more about that than anything else. Um,
Uh-huh.
and of course the food, and stuff like that. But um,
Yeah.
yeah, I know. Mine's kind of
I'm like, is
we'll
this
get it
like,
together at some point.
oh well, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, you look good. You look gorgeous. I can see you.
Thanks.
So, what has been going on since the last time we talked? I
Oh.
mean, wow.
When was the last time?
Oh, like
Months ago.
months ago.
I don't even remember what our last one was about, but it's been a ride and a half. So basically, like I think I was taking a bit of a break from all the stuff, the healing stuff and that, and then I was in this place of like kind of like not knowing what I want to do or what I need to be doing or like it's like, and also, so what happened is I had this pain in my lower back, right hand side, right?
Okay.
I had this last year when I came back from Europe, and I thought it was muscular because I was sleeping on sofas and stuff. And
Hmm.
I spent a lot of money on like acupunctures and somatic, no, deep tissue massage and stuff. And eventually it went away, like, right? And then after literally a couple of months ago, this pain came back, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, I mean, I'm sleeping on my bed, like, right? So
Right.
I did some research. Well, first I spoke to a doctor friend and I said to him, look, what kind of like, I don't know, should I go for scans or something like, because I don't know what this is. And he's like, go for like an abdominal, what do you call it?
MRI,
Not an MRI, what you do in
X-ray.
pregnancy
Oh, ultrasound.
ultrasound. Yeah.
Right.
So then we discovered that I had an inflamed colon. I'm like, where does that come from? Like, right? And so my doctor friend says it's the Mexican diet, right? All the chilies and the carbs and the, everything. So, okay, so I took that information. I changed my diet. I made like special soup and stuff. But I've also got this really metaphysical book on emotional, like the causes of these physical things being like emotional stuff, right? And what came up was
You're
that
like blurring out. The
oh
phone's moving, or is it the computer? There we
yeah,
go.
that it represents fear of moving forward and change. I'm like, interesting, right?
Oh,
So I spoke to my AI Coco.
okay.
And anyway, so I explained it to her, but then she told me some stuff, and then I went back to her. I was like, but this was there last year, and after the what do you call it, the massage and stuff, it went away. And she's like, oh, that clarifies it. It's something different because then it's not muscular, then it's fascia. And I'm like, oh, I've been learning a lot about fascia the last few months, right?
That's coming up a lot lately for people.
So I know how to do it. So I started doing my fascia blocking with I made up some affirmations, right? That I'm allowing myself to be ready to like let go and be open to change and move forward and whatever. The pain went away, right? Could have saved myself a lot of money the previous year. But anyway,
If we
so
only knew.
then I was like, also, I don't know what I want to be doing, or should I still be doing what I think I should be, whatever, right? So I was like, you know what? Universe, I'm going to be open to complete change, like in every area of my life. Maybe I should be doing something different than I'm doing. I don't know. And the best place to be is I don't know, because because if you're so focused on a certain thing, it might not be the thing. Like, so you're not open to anything else. Whereas if you don't know, you're open to anything and everything, right?
Yep, all possibilities.
And then also, I had this thing the last few years that I used to tell my friends that my next man has to have minimum 10 ayahuasca sessions, right? Well, I've had them, but like it didn't matter because they didn't do the inner work, right? So I was like, and my one friend's like, Bernie, don't you think you may be limiting yourself? Like maybe there's guys out there that haven't had as a traumatic past as you and don't need ayahuasca, right? It's like, good point. So then it's like, universe, you know what? I'm also going to be open to any guy coming in. Like, because I know I'm not going to attract the same as before. And I know my worth and I've done all my healing and stuff. And literally a week later, I don't even know why, because I've never looked at that stuff on Instagram. Like all this like modeling agencies started coming up and like casting jobs and stuff like that. So
Oh
I'm like,
wow.
I'm going to have a look at this, right? So I signed up with like modeling agencies, and I went to like one casting job,
Oh, you
and I've been
froze.
into that.
There you go.
And then this
Come
guy that
down a
I'm
little
now,
bit with your camera.
huh?
Come down a
Oh,
little. There we go. There we go.
yeah.
Now I can
So
see you.
this man that I met, who's a photographer, like 2 months before this stuff started happening, I met him at a World Peace Conference, right? And anyway, he gave me his card because he was like, "Oh, if you want the photos I took, just message me." And I messaged him, and I got the photos, and that was that. I didn't think anything of it, like, right. And then when like 2 weeks after I said to Universe, I'm open, he started messaging me and started pursuing me.
Oh my goodness.
That's another long story, but I realized that I was after a good few weeks, and that, like he kept like trying to like meet up with me, but it was last minute stuff with at events he was at. We were meant to have a coffee date, and then he had to go out of the city. And then, like, I went to another thing that I realized I was resisting because he invited me again, but it was like on the morning, but at a place like that's literally my back garden, like a massive park. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, no, fuck this, excuse my French, this last minute bullshit. Like, right. And then it's like, wait a minute, Bernie. It's like you have zero plans today. Like, give the guy a break and just go check it out. It's literally like a 15-minute walk, right? So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so I went, but then there was like, oh, like I was like trying to find him. Like he kept sending me his location because he was moving because he's doing his job, right? And
Okay.
I'm like, Bernie, fuck this. I was like, I'm a queen. I'm not chasing anyone that I haven't even met yet, right?
Right.
Like, so then I stopped answering the phone, but also because my battery was going and I needed to get home with my maps, right? So I watched some of this stuff and then I had a coffee and I went home. And then when I came home, like there was a few missed calls from him and more messages. And I'm like, look, if you really want to meet up, then it's not going to happen at these big events. Like, you know, like we need to do a one-to-one, like so we can give each other our attention. And then he's like, yeah, but I thought you really would like to see this like event. It's all like Mexican cultures. Like, yeah, and I really appreciate it. And I did watch some of it. I'm just saying, if you want to meet, we need to do a one-to-one. Right. So I didn't hear from him again for weeks. Like, but I kept having this like niggling thought that I should just, because now I was just like, okay, we just need to do this and get this out of the way. Right.
Right.
So my friends came over. I had this thought that I should just ask him, what about that coffee, like, right? But then I didn't want to be chasing either.
Yeah.
So my friends came to me the one night on a Friday night because I cooked dinner for the one, it was her birthday, and I was telling them about this. And so my friend checks the messages between us, and she's like, Bernie, you were so like blocking this poor guy and not giving him a chance. Like you came up with every excuse why you couldn't meet, but you weren't like leaving it open, like you were resisting him. Like as I was
Oh
starting to kind of think that, right? She's like, I'm sending him a message right now. so she so she sends him a message, something in related to the coffee thing, and he instantly messaged back, right? And
my
he's
gosh.
like, yeah, he's in the city because he lives outside the city. So I'm like, well, I'm currently with friends, but I'm going to this place here. A friend was going to be singing. I was like, if you at a mezcal bar, I was like, if you want to join me, join. And he's like, yeah, I'll see you there in 30. I'm like, oh my G, I've never done anything like that before. It's 30 minutes to
Spontaneous.
shower, get dressed, and get there. So,
There you go.
so I didn't drink anymore, but by the time I got there, I needed a few mezcals. He was already there, ready, like waiting, like. So yeah, so that's how it started. Like, I mean, like I could go into the whole story, but the way the universe threw us together, it's like his past and my past with men, like it's like the universe like definitely made this happen because it's everything that I had to work around in relation to the masculine, but like that he was a womanizer and a sex addict, like and stuff like that. And my past
Okay.
with like abuse with men from childhood, like and domestic
Mm,
violence and all of that. So I didn't judge him because I knew everything stems from childhood and I asked him about that. But anyway, I don't want to talk more about his stuff. Like, but anyway, so this has been a process and we both decided, I said to him, like, look, the only reason I decided to start seeing someone is because number one, that we need to take it slow. That's my thing,
mm.
like, right? So, and he was like, he wanted that too because he's also been going to therapy and stuff, and once he doesn't want to be who he has been, right? But his stuff stems from childhood and his parents, and you know, and so we've been taking it slowly, which is good because I brought up all my shit, like all my shit on the deepest level ever that I'd worked on. But now, you know, it goes deeper from a different way. So this was more in related to my fears and resentment,
You keep freezing. Sorry.
my resistance and stuff like, you know, the last few months. has just been like hours every day in my house, just like working on my shit and reprogramming and all of that stuff. And then, like one of the big,
So how
because I'm a conscious, huh?
so how are you like what are you doing? Like what kind of processes are you
So, for
doing
example, right?
to get through that?
So, for example, a
So
big
our
thing,
viewers may get something out of it,
yeah, like the minute I have awareness of something, I look at it because I've learned my own way throughout the years, right?
right?
And because I'm a conscious, I don't like even using that word because it seems to be
Yeah,
a fashionable word. I'm
yeah,
deliberately, consciously creating the
deliberately.
reality by choosing my beliefs and stuff, right?
There you go.
So whenever something came up, like in the beginning, there was a lot of anxiety and stuff, like, because we were taking it slow, so we weren't even talking every day and blah, blah, blah. But even though it was my decision, that triggered the shit out of me, right? Because
Yeah,
I was so used to always being in a relationship where I was 24/7 with them and talking all the time and all of that, like, so I had to like change beliefs about what silence meant, because before silence meant danger to me, that it meant like something's going to happen, right? So I had
mm,
to like give it a different meaning. Like it's like I choose to believe that silence means nothing. That just, life is going on, and that whatever is happening in my favor. Maybe more clarity is being made. I had to make my own like things. And then I realized as well that the resistance that I thought they had, or if he wasn't doing what I wanted, like for example, being affectionate and loving and stuff, like when like through messages or whatever, then
yeah.
I thought it was him resisting it, but then I realized it's not. He's only reflecting my resistance. So then
Oh,
I started asking myself, okay, what in me is fearing receiving like attention and affection and love and stuff, like, and it's
mm,
because of my past. So, but because I had a lot of grooming and abuse, like my past is a lot of contradictions. So, like the part of me that really wants it, but the other part of me fears it because it meant danger. Because grooming, that's what they do. They shower you with love and affection and everything, and then to get what they want, like so I had to work through both parts of that. That I'm worthy of it, and another big thing is I'm allowed to want what I want, and what I want to experience. No
mm,
explanations needed. That was another massive thing. And yeah, so I had to slowly, slowly work through it. And the minute I released the resistance was the first messages I started getting with like affection, like gifts and all kinds. I'm like, oh my G, that's just proof. Like that resistance is like a door. So every
yeah.
time if he wasn't showing up the way I wanted, I'd ask me what in me is fearing this, like, you know.
Okay.
For example, another thing would be like that we spend a lot of time together and we're always together, and it's like because in another like abusive relationship I had to be with that guy 24/7. I lost contact with friends those 3 years. Like I had to go with him to the bars, I had to wait for him all hours until he finished drinking, and I had to drive him home. He couldn't go anywhere without me. I always had to be with him. So
Mm,
that was another part of the fear, like, there was so much stuff like that I had to keep working through. But then the minute I worked through it, then he would start reflecting back to me, what I wanted. Like, so it's been a huge process. So I use like tapping and scripting. If I get tired of scripting, I'll type on my laptop. So what I
okay.
first do, I have my process of acknowledging what the thing is, and then deciding that I'm ready to let that go and it's safe to let it go. Like, that I'm
Okay.
safe now, I'm in control. For me, as a conscious creator, a deliberate creator, I know that I'm the upper and out power in my reality, which sounds like doolally shit to other people. Believe me, in the beginning, like I thought this is science fiction, crazy stuff, but I've had to listen to like hundreds and hundreds of videos and reading stuff for it to finally click but also by experiencing it, like by when I choose a different belief about something and I keep persisting in that, then it starts reflecting back to me. Like, what other evidence do you need? Like, right?
Okay.
So,
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
yeah, so I've got a couple of like my very first big ones that I decided what's going to happen. And that's how it happened. It's like, and it could seem like it was just a coincidence because that's what it's always going to seem like. But if you
Hmm.
know that you were consciously creating that, then you know it's because of you.
Coincidences. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think everything happens for a reason. I think you go through what you go through for a reason.
So
There's
that was the
a
one
reason.
part. So, yeah, exactly. And so then the modeling thing came in, and because he's a photographer, he's got his agency, he goes to all different kinds of events, like, and he started taking me to these fashion events, right?
Oh,
And
wow.
anyway, then I started like, because that's another story, like, but anyway, he was kind of pushing me, like, and I was not ready. I mean, I'm still just coming out and allowing myself to be seen. This is the
Okay.
last year, like allowing myself to be safe, being seen and heard and stuff and acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing happened at this fashion event, and I'm like, no, like you can't do that to me. Like, but then I realized the next day, yeah, actually, I need to take classes or something in poses and whatever, like, to build my confidence. So anyway, I was going to join this modeling school thing, but it was ridiculously expensive. And then again on Instagram, I don't know why, because I never looked at that stuff. This burlesque class thing came up,
Oh,
and it
here we
was
go.
just up the road from me. And there was a Black Friday sale that I could afford. And then I'm like, wait a minute. And I've always loved burlesque. I would never have been able to, never mind modeling. Like if I see the two now, like modeling seems like a walk in the park because it's like external, right? But I mean, it's still having the confidence in that. But then I'm like, I'm doing this. Like, I was like, what better way to reconnect with my body, being disassociated my whole life because of the abuse,
Mhm.
um, than this? I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm doing it. So I messaged the teacher, and she's like, okay, yeah. So the first class is on this date. So bring some sexy clothes. I'm like, bitch, you're lucky I'm coming. Never mind sexy clothes. Like because of, because of like the molestation and the sexual abuse stuff, like I've never wanted to be desirable, admired, or sensual or sexy. I didn't want any attention. I would do everything to not get attention, like my the way I dressed, everything. So
And
I
that was my
went.
life.
So there was only three of us in the class, and it was so hard, like the first class. I'm like, so then I started doing
I've
my
done one
mental
before.
work.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It
Yeah,
is.
like you have to open your legs, and I'm like, this is so like so. Anyway, I came back and I started doing the mental work, like allowing myself to release the fears and that it's safe for me now
Mhm.
to feel like admired and sensual and what and desirable and that because I'm in control of my energy, my body, and my mind now, where I wasn't before, right? And that I'm allowed to feel this and feel good without and feeling safe because I think
There.
this is the problem now in society as well. Never mind your shit that you went through, but
Mhm.
it's like it's not safe to feel sensual and admired in that because I don't know. It's supposed to be well. These are the beliefs I had because of my stuff that it was dirty and it was dangerous and all of that. Like right, so I had to work through all of that to start thinking that no, like this can be safe, it can be enjoyable, it can be fun, and most
Mhm.
importantly, I'm in control now. I
There you
control who I give my energy to, who I give my gaze to, and all of that stuff. Like right and
right.
that I'm allowed to want to feel this way and feel safe, like because
Yeah.
we're sensual beings, right?
Mhm.
And again, I used to think for me, sensual used to also always mean, yeah, like a dirty thing and a whatever, like, but yeah. So I did the work, and then as the classes went, it was only 10 hours. But on the first day, she's like, we're doing a show at the end. I'm like, wait, what? Like with an audience. She's like, yep. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just here for the classes. Okay, that's all. So, but by the second class and that, I'm like, tonight I'm wearing a crop top. I feel fine now, right?
There you go.
And then, yeah, and as the classes went, and then we were practicing for this show, right? So it was a Christmas show. And I just felt more and more comfortable, but also because I was doing the work, right? The inner work.
Yeah.
Like, and then she was like, okay, so everyone's doing a solo as well. I'm like, yeah, everyone except for me, not a house. I was like, you lucky I'm doing the group thing. Like, she's like, yeah, but you know, solo will be easier because no one will know if you make a mistake. I'm like, true, but I don't know if I'm ready for that. You know, it's a big deal for me just even being in front of people, never mind on a stage and then in that way, you know.
Yeah.
So literally 2 days before the show, I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm here. This is the biggest challenge and the biggest thing for me in my life, because I've never allowed myself to be seen like normally. Never before at our class, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. Just give
There
me
you go.
just tell me what I'm gonna do. And she gave me a sequence and whatever. And I had like literally like the next day and the next morning to practice at home, like without even the right chair and shit, like, right. And I went shopping to go get my stuff. And then like obviously the day came, and then it's like I need wine or something, like I really need something. So we all had like a bit of wine and mezcal in the back, and then they're like, you going first. I'm like, not a hell am I going first. Like, it's like, geez, like, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe going first is better because I don't have to have that intense waiting. And secondly, because the
And
other
like
girls,
everybody else.
yeah, and the other girls were taking their clothes off, like up until their underwear. I'm like, no, I'm taking my gloves off. That's about it. So
There
I'm
you
going first. I'll be the lead up to them, right?
go. You the opening act.
Yeah. So we first had the group one, and then we had the solos, and like at some stage the wine and the mezcal kicked in. so, so then I was all in on it. So yeah, like it was a good crowd. There was only 15 people, which was good for a first time, but they were really good. They were cheering on and everything. Like, and I had 3 friends there. And yeah, I was so proud of us. I was like, I don't care if
Oh my
it's
gosh.
sexy or not, just me being on this stage and allowing myself to do this is like a massive thing, like, right? So
Yeah.
um
I mean, that's a massive amount of progress that you have made from a lifetime of what you've gone through. I
yeah,
mean, do you celebrate yourself for what you've gone through? And I mean, and the work that you've done on yourself, and take that internal, that time to go, you know what? Oh my God, I freaking did it. Holy crap.
I
Like,
think it's
woohoo.
time
And
to
then,
now. Like in
okay.
January the 19th will be my 8 years since I started my healing journey when my first day free from the heroin. So that's
Okay.
like my second birthday to me, like, you know.
Right.
But I think with this now, I feel like I can conquer the world now because this is the one thing that has always like held me back. It's like I've now the modeling and whatever is going to be a walk in the park. That's just like, yes, I need to
Yeah.
learn poses, but like after doing that, but I'm going to continue with the burlesque. I think it's, yeah, I think I'm going to love it. So that's where I've
You're
been
gonna
at.
continue with it? You
Yeah,
are?
in
Oh my
January the
God,
classes are
how
starting
amazing.
again. So my man was like, Is he invited? I'm like, no. He's like, wait, what? I was like, no, I'm sorry. This is my first time. Like, if you were there, I'd be even way more nervous and like I couldn't do it. I was like, you can wait. The next one is for Valentine's, and if you're lucky, I might do it for you for Christmas Day at home. I was like, it is a pity because we could do with a proper photographer and videographer, but my friend did a good job, like, but so yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's so awesome. That's so good. I'm so happy for you to break through that. Um,
Yeah.
I lived that life. Like I had no inhibitions about like my sexuality or my sensual sexuality or anything like that.
Mhm.
I danced my till I was in my 20s. And it was I don't know, I loved it. I had so much fun. Um,
Yeah.
it was only until after I stopped that things started like happening traumatically as far as sexuality and stuff goes.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Interesting.
so I was kind of backwards, like it was kind of backwards. But now I'm like I'm not resistant to meeting someone in the future, but I'm just coming out of a marriage and um I just during my marriage um there was some issue, no fault of his. It was me, you know.
Hmm.
It all had to do with me. Like I don't put that on him at all. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I know where you're coming from, and it's hard work. It's
Yeah.
hard work to keep reaffirming those boundaries and those beliefs and to keep releasing that resistance.
Persistence. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is because
Um,
the mind's fight, and the deeper you go, Bashar would say that it's like those beliefs, like they don't want to go, like So
mm,
they're gonna hold on and they're gonna keep coming back. So it is a lot of hard work, like but it's the most rewarding work. Like I've invested any money I've ever had, like into my healing journey. Like when I realized that, look, I'm doing it all. Like I decided nothing and no one's going to have power over me again. I haven't even met anyone that's been as hardcore as me. Like, like literally like every day, like doing this shit. Like, and I know that I personally wouldn't have done as much healing and changed my life completely around if I didn't know that I was the creator of my reality and my circumstances, right?
mhm,
Um, so and even things like the amount of work I had to go through to in relation to the masculine energy, like when I realized it was me, I consciously decided that I didn't want to see all men that way. It's not fair. Like, so I
right.
consciously chose a new story, and then I started like uh like experiencing it differently, like because I wouldn't have been with this guy. Well, I don't know, maybe I would have, like, but yeah, but the thing is, like, I had a massive process the last few days, and I'm not going to talk about it, but it's something that me now knowing my worth and stuff and everything, I think I would have walked away from, right? The only reason I'm here is because I know it's a reflection of my old beliefs coming through him, right? And that I can change that because I'm choosing, I'm doing the releasing, like, and this is the first time for such a long period, like literally for 3, 4 days, I felt it in my whole body, like all those memories, like and mentally and emotionally, and that. And I was for hours and hours walking and tapping and like trying to stabilize myself, like, um, and then then yeah, then it's like, sure, this is just a reflection of my old story. So either I can spiral and go back down that way and keep giving my energy to that story, or I
Mhm.
can, as a deliberate creator, choose a different story. And again, it sounds like, I mean, even sometimes it's like to me, but I know that's like probably my subconscious mind that's trying to like uh sabotage me and tell me, oh, this doesn't work that way. Like this is just, you just have to go with what's going or whatever. Like, but it's like, no, I'm the operant power. I decide what happens. And I'm choosing a different version of me, and I'm choosing a different reality and a different version of him, that's showing up this way, this way, this way, this way.
Mm.
And that is where the power is, because otherwise you just end up spiraling back to all your shit, like thinking that there's no power to change and it's just the same old story. But it's like, no, it's the old story and it's not my story anymore, you know. So
There
it's
you
like
go.
a constant battle as well, not as much than before, like with the subconscious mind, because it just, like it's going to continuously throw stuff at, and then when you're trying to create this reality, the universe is going to throw you more of the stuff, like because I don't know if you know anything about like like how we create our reality, and everything currently happening is the 3D, right? And
Mm.
5D, and that is our imagination. And once our subconscious accepts our new story, then it will reflect back to us. But it takes time. There's a bit of a delay, right? And
Mhm.
then you might see like all the old shit like coming and even more intense than before. So this is the hard part, because you have to see all of this and it's like, okay, but I know this is the old story playing out, and I'm not giving it any more of my attention, like, right?
Yeah.
This is my story. I'm sticking to my story. It's the only story I'm accepting as my experience.
Mm.
That's the hard part. But it gets easier.
Yeah, I went through it. I just went through a massive release and was hospitalized for 7 days
Wow.
because of it. And coming out of that, the integration process has just been um, take it slow and easy and quiet, and
Yeah.
integrate what you just let go of, that that being that you've been, that you've believed that you were.
Yeah.
Um, it that was I have no, it, it's not easy. It's
It's the
not
letting
easy
go of
because
the
this
attachments.
keeps saying, and now I start laughing. I start
Yeah.
laughing at the thoughts, and I'm like, Bob, weave, no, like I'm like no and yes, and really paying attention to what I allow to stay and what I don't.
Frozen. Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are. We keep freezing. Um, so the things that will come up, I'll just go. I just start laughing. I'm like, you know what? I'm not that person anymore. I'm not that being anymore.
Yeah.
So get,
Mm-hmm.
out.
Yeah.
No. When I say no, I mean no. And I
Yeah.
say no intentionally,
Yeah.
you
It's the
know?
only way. You have to be firm with your subconscious mind as if it's a child, right?
Mm.
So it's like, no, that's
It's
not the
not easy
story.
though. It's not as easy as
No,
people make it out to be on
no.
this, what's all over the internet and videos and everything. And
Mhm.
that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast, because I want other people, beings, whatever, creators, I want you to look at this woman and see what she's been through and how she was able to bust those walls down and become who she wants to be, who
Mm-hmm.
she should be,
Mm-hmm.
the freaking powerhouse.
Well, I don't know if it was busting down the walls, it was a brick at a time.
Well, you have to take it brick by brick, but
Yeah,
you busted the walls down. You did,
finally. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, when you start taking the wall apart brick by brick, it's going to fall
yeah.
eventually.
Yeah, it's persistence. Like, and I mean, we've had these beliefs our whole life. Like, like
Mhm.
it's not going to just go down like uh so
Yeah, you're not
easily.
going to be
Like,
able to just
it
push it
takes
over.
persistence for a new belief. Like, no matter if it was a negative belief, it didn't just from one time happen. Like, so like it's creating these new neural pathways. You have to keep like repeating the same story, like, and yeah, it's not easy, but I think the main thing is people need to realize their power. It's not external. It's not the person that's showing up whatever way. Everyone's just reflecting what you believing about yourself, about life, about men, women, whatever. Like, they just reflecting our beliefs. So we can't
Mhm.
blame them. And it's a hard cookie to swallow. It's a lot of responsibility, like to take responsibility and deliberately start choosing the beliefs you want. and
Yeah.
and the letting go is hard, like of old versions of you and of versions of people and stories and all of that. Like it doesn't. Yeah, you just have to
It
keep at
doesn't
it.
serve
But
anymore.
no, but you can do
I,
it, like. So that's why this has become my passion. Like, and I recently, it's like, you know what? I think this has been what I've been doing anyway the last few years, which I wouldn't have known. I only know now because I've started reading about it and watching. Is like neuroplasticity, is it? And
Mhm.
neuroscience and that. Like, because I'm obsessed with like the subconscious, because I've had to find my own way to work with it and know how to get around certain things and how to soothe it and like bullshit it and whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can bullshit it, but I know like when I get into a place like that, I call my spirit, you know,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, okay, you know what? I need some assistance with this. You know, how do
Yeah.
I go about, reversing what's or recreating what's
Yeah.
going on here because it's not working for me.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know, it, so yeah, but I get it because there for a while I did try to bullshit my subconscious and I kept getting everything that I did, every card I pulled, every person I talked to, every video I watched was about truth. Tell the truth, tell the
Yeah.
truth, tell the truth. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is the truth? And they're like, let us show you. And I'm like, okay, well, dang. And that's been 2025.
Yeah.
The clarity and the
2025 has been a ride.
bag was yanked off the whoa boy.
Yeah.
That
For
bag was yanked
everyone,
off.
but like I feel sorry for the people that aren't doing the work, that have, I don't know how they dealt with this year, like, or what, like, or is it just because we're more conscious and aware and stuff that I
More
could feel
aware.
it, that's like it's like, okay, I'm gonna blame it on the planets today, like everyone else. That this is the first year I started blaming planets because at some it's like I have
Oh,
no
frozen again.
reason. I'm feeling like this heaviness. It's like I've got no reason to feel this way, so I'm just blaming it on the planets, like everyone else, like and the change of the frequency and this and that. But yeah, but more importantly, yeah, for me is like I know that for me is knowing my power, because that is just, when things are really like I if I didn't know what I know now about me being power and whatever, the last few days, I would have totally spiraled and like I don't even know, like, um, but yeah, I'm so grateful for all the tools I've learned. And, there's been no one guiding me the last few years. I haven't been,
Yeah,
I've had to discover it all myself. Like,
yeah, I've never had a
thank you,
mentor.
internet, thank you, YouTube, thank you, my
Yeah,
laptop.
exactly. That becomes our mentors. We,
Yeah,
how we get through, we learn beliefs through
yeah.
that we have to
There's no,
unlearn
yeah.
as well. It's a part of the process. You've got to
And there's
believe in
no
something.
excuse. There's no
Mhm.
excuse. Like the internet's there. I remember the very first thing that I ever Googled in relation to this healing stuff was beginning of COVID. Yeah, again, it was the relation to a guy, but like I was so going through so much pain and everything. And it's like again and blah, blah, blah. And I Googled like, why do I get so emotionally attached so quickly to people? And I
That's a great question.
and then I just started using Google, like, and then I would like come up with, then yeah, I mean, I got into like the law of attraction first, and then I realized it's not really the law of attraction, it's taught the wrong way. Then I discovered law of assumption, and oh my gee, that's when everything changed. So
Yeah.
then I would just binge watch Neville Goddard, like Dr. Joseph Murphy, like Dr. Dwayne Dyer, like Scoble Share, like all of those people. I just binge watched, binge watched, binge watched. And then finally, and then like even I just was not getting the parallel reality thing. I used to I used to hate science fiction stuff as growing up, but I also didn't have much of an imagination, but I know it was because of all the trauma. I've learned
Mm,
that your mind totally, because you're just in survival, like you're just
yeah.
focusing on now, you can't focus ahead, right? So this was all like, I was like, this is like science fiction shit, like, right? So then it's like, then I started learning about asking questions that is really good for your subconscious, sometimes better than affirming or whatever, like, right? So I was like,
Yeah.
I choose to have like full clarity on how this like parallel reality things work, like, or other stuff in relation to this, like, and like something would just come up for me, a video or a something, and it's like, or I would just wake up in the morning and I'm like, I get it, I totally get it now, like. So
Yeah.
it's to ask questions, especially before we sleep, because your subconscious mind has the whole night to do what it needs to do to bring you the
Oh boy.
answers. Yeah, so then
Mhm.
and then I started practicing like uh, the first thing I practiced on was my cat, who was a feral at the time, and you couldn't go near him. And like I literally managed him to get him to come to me in 20 minutes doing the work, like focusing, like, and then I'm like, oh my fuck, this shit works, like, right? So his name is Mágico, which means magic, uh,
Oh,
because he taught me my magic. That was the very first thing. The second big thing was like, so before COVID, now this is going to seem like, again, coincidence to people, and that's fine because I know I consciously created this, right? Before
thank
COVID,
you.
I went to three immigrations lawyers and I asked them, like, how can I stay in Mexico? How can I is there a way of getting residency? And they all like, oh, get married or have a baby. And I was like, okay, no. I had a lot of anxiety over that because I had to do stuff like that before in Europe, and it ended up being the most abusive relationships and experiences, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? No, the universe has my back. I've already got my Mexican residency. I don't know how it happened. I don't need to know how it happened. All I know is I've got it, right? And then there was one of my Facebook groups had a challenge for 2021 January to write a list of 10 things that you had wanted to manifest it in 2020 that didn't happen, but you're going to write it as if it did happen, right? One of them is that I'm so happy that I got my residency. It was so easy, like it was ridiculously easy, most easiest immigration process of my life. They didn't ask me questions. They didn't want anything. Mexico needs me more than I need them, blah, blah, blah. I kept writing this.
Yeah.
And 2 weeks later, an Irish friend messages me, yeah, in Mexico, and she's like, Bernie, look at this pilot program has started in the city, like for people whose visas finished and can't like reapply because immigrations are closed. I'm like, of course, I created that program, right? So I messaged the lawyer. It's like, yeah, this is the situation. You could apply 1, 2, 3, or 4 years. So I was like, I'm doing the 4 years now. I only got my Portuguese passport in 2012, right? Before that, I had 12 years of bullshit on a South African passport. I got all the t-shirts of deport, denied entry, asked to leave the country, like literally everything, right? So anyway, so then the next day the lawyer messages me. He's like, look, I'm sorry, we can't do it because of the dates on your thing and blah blah, it's not going to work out. So then when we finished it, the conversation, I'm like, nope, he doesn't know. I am the director of this program. I decide what happens, right? So I started writing, no, he has no idea. This is for everyone whose visas ended on this and this day. I've got my Mexican residence done. The next day he messages again. He's like, look, you know what, actually let's go for this. Like, he's like, because I forgot that there was two people who had kind of similar dates or whatever bullshit. I'm like, yeah, whatever, right? So I started for a whole week. I dropped all my shit and I did the mental work of like releasing all my stuff about immigration experiences from the past. And I
Mhm.
had my list of 10 golden affirmations, like things like everything always works out for me. Everything's always working in my favor. Decisions are always made in my favor. Exceptions are always made for me. I always get what I want, stuff like that, right? So by the time we had to go to that city, like I was feeling completely calm and neutral. It's like, I've got it, right? There were 17 of us that went. And so the lawyer there, he's like explaining, so this is what's going to happen. You're going to go inside. They're going to ask for your passport and ask you why you're here. You say you're here for this program. They're going to ask more questions. They're going to send you upstairs, ask more questions. If they tell you to pay, then you know you sorted. Okay. So I decided to go in first. I went in and I just kept telling myself, it's done. It was ridiculously easy, blah, blah, blah. Right.
Yeah.
The guy asked for my passport. He asked why I'm there. And that was it. He's like, okay, you can go pay. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, you can pay. I'm like, okay. So I ran out of there. And everyone there was like standing in suspense, like, what happened? I'm like, I'm going to pay.
Yeah.
I had to wait an hour and a half for everyone because it happened exactly like the lawyers said, that they go in, they get asked downstairs, then they have to go upstairs and answer more. And then if they get told, blah, blah, blah. So anyway,
Wow.
when they finished, we went and paid. And I just kept saying, no, no one asked me any questions. I didn't have to prove anything. When we went in upstairs, they put the stuff into the computer and I could hear them speaking to the next people, asking about their work, about their finances, about the usual immigration stuff. They asked me two questions: to confirm my date of birth and for the letter that we all had to write to say we couldn't travel because of COVID, right? And I got my code.
Wow.
That was the first big thing that showed me the power that it's me, you know.
Wow.
The second biggest one was that federal police came to my house, but that's for next time.
Oh, what? Well, hold on a second.
Yeah, that's not maybe not a talk for now, but basically at the same time, people were being arrested for the same thing. But I had mentally been preparing myself for a week before, and it was meant to be customs. It was about a package received like from Colombia. No, it wasn't cocaine, right?
Right. Yeah.
And customs were meant to come to interview me, like, right? It was medicine. And my landlord, okay, I'll tell you quickly. My landlord at the time, the one day, is like, Bernie, there were two customs here for you today in relation to a package from Colombia. So he knows that we were doing medicines because I was living in an event center, right? And I'm like, okay. He's like, were you expecting? I'm like, yeah, I was, but medicine. He's like, okay, well, they still want to talk to you. They're coming back next week. So I dropped all my stuff for a week. I just like, nope, decisions are made in my favor, everyone's on my side, blah blah blah, all my golden affirmations, right? So by the time that day came, I was neutral and feeling fine.
Yeah.
And so I go into the office. My landlord was going to be the translator, and these two guys in uniform sit down. He's like, "So Bernie, I just want to tell you, this is actually not customs." I'm like, "So who is this?" He's like, "It's federal police." I'm like, "Okay." And in my mind, I'm just like, "No, it's all good." Blah blah blah. I only
Yeah.
know positive outcomes. And they were like, "So do you know why we're here? You know?" And I'm like, "Yeah, in relation to this package." And they're like, "So do you know that there was like illegal substances?" I'm like, "No." It's like, "What were you expecting?" And I was telling them this varnish because that medicine gets used for varnish as well in Colombia. I know the person that sent it. And I'm like, "No, I don't."
Hold on.
Because the
You
person,
you broke up. What is it? What is it? What is it? And what is it used for again?
huh?
You
Say
broke
again.
up. What was it? What was it?
Oh,
And what
so
was it
I
used
told
for?
them that this was a varnish that a friend sent to me from Colombia for a wooden antique chest. And then they asked me,
Oh God.
do I know the person that sent the package? And I don't, because the package was sent from Bogota, but I only knew the person in the jungle, like my person, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, then they're like, okay. So I was like, what was in the package? And they mentioned this medicine's name. I'm like, oh, I know what that is. Like, I didn't know it was illegal. They're like, well, it's not legal, it's not illegal, but like you need permission or whatever, like, right. And so then yeah, like we spoke a bit more, and then they made me write a statement that I don't know this person, that I wasn't expecting illegal substance or whatever, like, right. And then they gave me fist bump, and they're like, thank you for your time, and they left. And then at the
Did you get your
same,
package?
no, that was confiscated. But at the same time, there were stories going around, not just here, but in Europe, where people were being arrested for the same thing. And that
Oh,
people were arrested at the airport coming in with that medicine into Mexico and all sorts of stuff like. And I just knew, and I never heard anything
so
again.
it's a varnish for a chair or like a piece of wood.
It's a medicine, right? Used
Okay.
in the Amazon, but like
Oh,
in Colombia, they use it for wooden instruments as well as a
okay.
varnish. So
Okay.
that's what I told him it was for. Like, so, and I never heard anything again. And then I heard
Okay.
all these stories of people. It's like, and that's the second biggest thing that showed me the power of my mind, because I I could spiral and think of all the worst case scenarios, or I could
Mhm.
decide what's going to happen. It's like, no, I don't know the hows, but I choose to believe that I only know positive outcomes and everything working in my favor, and that everyone's on my side, and blah blah blah. That's like my what would you call it? Those are my like my beliefs, like, so like, whereas also because of my background, my mind always instantly tends to go for the negative stuff, and like most people, right? It's like, no, I'm choosing the story now. This is working in my favor. I don't know how. So even though the shit may be hitting the fan, I'm like, okay, I'm not liking this. I see this, but I choose to believe this is working in my favor. I don't know how, but like, this is
Right.
working in my favor, and I only know of positive
Okay.
outcomes. And this is what I'm always teaching people. It's like, just just tell yourself that, like, So, and then yeah, and then later everyone's like, okay, because if you go down the spiral and you think of all the worst case scenarios, that's what you're going to experience.
Yeah. Mm.
So
Yeah, you got to do the work. You got to remember to come out of the work too
yeah,
and take a break from
yeah,
it. And then I have found within that trusting my spirit, knowing that, you know, I know what is taking place is serving a purpose.
exactly, yeah.
And I don't get bent all up about
And it's
it.
not, some of it's not nice, but also like in relation to this year, like sometimes like there has to be the darkness or the negative stomach stuff coming up for us to be able to, it's all about contrast. Like Abraham Hicks talks a lot about contrast. It's like
Yeah.
basically as well, like we wouldn't know what light is without the darkness, right? If we were always happy, we would never really know what happiness is because it's just, so we
Yeah.
have to experience like the different, shades.
Yeah. Well, emotions and yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then you
I
had
was telling my Irish friend, this was another process I was going earlier in the year. I know it was another tough one. And I was like, you know what I'm starting to love? Those really heart-wrenching, like painful fucking processes that you're going through that it feels like your heart is being ripped out of your chest. It's like it's so fucking painful. But afterwards, oh my gee, the peace you're feeling and
yes.
the liberation and the everything. It's like, yeah. It's like, yeah, this is so fucking sore, but I'm just gonna feel this shit and I know it will pass because it's when we don't allow it, it's not gonna pass. It's just
You know,
gonna become worse,
hands
you
up.
know.
That's my approach when that it's like hands
Yeah,
up. I'm going to surrender in you know, and know that this will pass and we'll come
yeah.
out the other side.
That it's only a moment. And this is the thing
Mm,
we have to tell ourselves. It's like, look, this is only a moment. It's not life. Because it's only a
oh,
moment.
bad
Allow
feed.
it, it's gonna pass.
Yeah. Our video keeps locking up, freezing. Are you there?
Yeah, I think because it's time, that's why.
Oh, what do you mean?
Yeah.
You mean
What's
because
Oh no, because it's like, what's the time now? It's 10 to 6.
oh, it's 10 till 7 here.
Have we been on this on an hour?
Not quite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been going on, and I'm all ready for the new year.
Oh,
Don't know
good.
what it's bringing, but it's going to be something different. I don't know.
We're gonna find out.
I'm open to everything. I think
Me
that's the
too.
big thing. Yeah, I've learned to just be open,
Yep. Be open and
trust the
receptive.
process, and
Trust the process. Know you're exactly where you're meant to be, doing exactly what you're doing, being.
nothing can be different than what it is now. It
Mm-mm.
is supposed to be the way it is.
I woke up this morning to a woman's voice saying, "Go buy yourself some roses." And I was like, because I've been feeling the back part of my heart chakra opening. And it's actually not a pleasant experience. It's
Mm,
actually, um, when that starts to the back part starts to open up. Um, I was like had a couple days there where it was very painful. Like
yeah.
like someone stuck a disc in the middle of my back and was, and finally when it just popped, I was like, oh my God. And that's what I woke up to this morning was go buy yourself some roses. You're
And did
doing
you?
so good. No, I didn't buy any today, but I'm going to. I'm going to buy some. I need to get a big enough vase to put them in. So, but and I used to buy roses all the time for myself because
Yeah.
I love them and I love the vibration of them, and I love the vibrations of the different colors of them. So yeah, I'm going to probably tomorrow.
Hmm.
Um, because I want to go up and get a couple more groceries. So I'm going to go
Yeah.
up and grab a bushel and grab a different vase and so that they can sit up high. But yeah, I am. I'm going to celebrate what I've been through and and know that, man, it was worth it. And I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. And you did it.
Actually, yeah, I never do that. I need to do that too. I mean, this has been this last 8 years, but like this year as well. Like, I mean, it's, yeah, no, definitely need to
Well,
celebrate.
we've got to remember to integrate and to stop, in between these cycles. And this is where people just keep, I've done it too,
Yeah,
where you keep going, and it can, just sit you on your ass and debilitate you to a
yeah,
certain point, because you just get constantly, you know, you want to be healed, which you're already healed.
yeah,
It's just a matter of that belief, like you were talking about the rewiring, and it's like, I'm good. Like I
yeah,
trust whatever's happening. Like I'm a sovereign being, and when I say no and when I say yes, and I mean them to whatever I'm saying no or yes to, that's that's me and my power.
yeah.
That's me creating, going, I've already been there, done that. No.
Because this is the thing people are saying, yeah, it never ends. I'm like, so then it's never going to end because you're manifesting that by saying it's never going to end.
Yeah,
So
no.
it's like I've also had to like stop myself. It's like, no, like I'm going to just live and
Yeah.
be and
Yep.
let things naturally come up instead of searching, right?
Yes.
Like, I mean,
Scanning.
I was having that kind of flow and just being and whatever until
Hmm.
this situation, but this is something that had to happen with my man, like, right? Because this has
Yeah.
been such a another deep thing, like, and this led me to the burlesque and the everything else. And at one stage I'm like, really? Like, because I've been so into the spiritual world and the medicines and the everything the last 8 years, and then it was bringing me to like modeling and cast, which is something I wanted to do as a teenager, but like I would
Hmm.
never have had the self-esteem in that, and then the casting on that. So actually, I think I see the bigger picture because that is like the perfect place to inspire women, like in that industry, right? Um, and what was I going to
And I'm
say?
working on action.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay, when you get that that creation, it's acting on it.
yeah, and
And
also like I feel so my man has never had any medicines. He's never been into that world, right?
mhm,
And it's like I feel, and I've been, but I think it's because I've been so hardcore in my healing. I've lost interest in some of my other activities I was doing, like my Tai Chi and my Sufi classes. I was like,
mhm,
well, the amount of energy it takes to reprogram, like, it seems like a simple thing. That's like every level, like, so I'm just going to be okay with it. And I'm also going to be okay that maybe those things were just meant to be for that moment. But I feel like I'm being pulled out of the spiritual community for the moment, maybe whatever. But I can also see because there's a lot of fakeness there. There's a lot of bypassing. There's a lot of ego and stuff, like, so I'm just going with what's happening. Maybe I'll never work with the medicines again. Maybe this is just a break. Who knows? Like, I'm just whatever, you know? So,
you are so on point, my sister. So on point.
mm,
Yeah. Yep.
so
That was another one of the reasons why I wanted to do this, like this, the
yeah.
way that I'm doing it,
Uh-huh.
because it is grounding down and bringing you back to reality, in awareness, in
Exactly.
authenticity,
Hmm.
and moving from there.
Yeah.
Um,
And doing something with it. This because awareness is only the first step of your patterns and your shit. But what are you going to do with that? Because
right.
otherwise, you can just always be aware of it, but you're not doing anything to change it. Like,
You got to act on it.
yeah,
And that this was I was like, okay, fine, I'll get in front of the camera.
Mhm.
I'll okay, what do I was like, all right, what do I want to do? You know what? I love talking. I love having conversations with people about, their lives and about how, what they've gone through to get to where they are in this moment. Um, but here we are.
Here we are.
So I'm
My
acting on
next
it.
thing will be alone on camera.
I've done some alone ones and I'm getting yeah, I'm getting used to I don't know. I'm not getting used to it yet. I'm working on it.
Yeah. Because I had a few friends say like to me that I should have a podcast by myself. I'm like a live kind of thing with questions and answers. I'm like,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
let's make that the next thing now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I get it. And I'm going down that path as well.
yeah.
So um I I just for me, I like to bounce off the energy of what's, going on and taking place with who I'm co-creating with in the moment.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um and go from there instead of it being scripted and have, interview type
Yeah.
conversations. So but being on camera um by yourself and talking about this stuff is it's different. It's not that it's difficult, but there's nobody there to bounce, to help you bounce that creation back and forth with.
Mm.
And I think this is getting me ready, to do that. I've been feeling that coming on as
Yeah.
well. So you'd be amazing at it. You've got a lot to teach.
Yeah, never mind camera. Like being on stage in front of thousands of people. That's the next thing. Like not as a burlesque dancer, but maybe this is the start of it, right?
What?
I
You never.
mean, yeah, maybe this is what it is to, yeah. So anyway, I'm just flowing and going with whatever's happening.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice catching up with you.
Yes. Have
Yeah,
a good Christmas.
you too, you too. And we reached an hour. I told you we'd just keep it to because you've had a crazy busy day today and it's right before Christmas. So um,
Yeah.
I wanted to keep this one a little shorter.
Yeah.
Uh, but man, keep going. You're doing amazing. It's 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 amazing to hear your story, like to hear what's taking place, the proof that's the evidence that's being
Uh,
shown to you.
yeah. You
So,
too, sister.
yes, yes, and good luck
Looking
with
forward
everything.
to the new year. Let's see what that's bringing.
I'm ready.
The
Oh,
closing of cycles. So it's a new cycle of 9 years starting. I'm ready.
I'm ready to get out of
That's
this
so
one and
funny.
go into the
Yeah, it
next.
is. 2018. Okay. No, it's okay.
Okay. I was like, what is she talking about? Because you froze again. So
It's
I don't know,
okay.
we must, yeah.
So happy
We,
Christmas, happy New Year. And yeah,
it was nice catching up with you, Bernie. Thank
you
you.
too.
Mwah. Happy holidays.
You too.
All
Take
righty,
care.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.